Are we?
Oh, we're up.
Oh yeah.
Because here comes
It
two.
didn't update yet.
Hi, welcome to Cutscene. If you're doing this right, you're about to be three assholes who've been doing dating wrong this entire time. I'm Eric.
I'm Jason.
And I'm Chris.
And welcome to Cutscene by Ibeatitfirst. Okay, I have a bone to pick with you on this, Jason.
Okay, I'm
Because
ready.
I swear to fucking God, if this anime turns into a fucking sob fest, I'm gonna fucking kill you, I swear to God.
The mom's dead, man.
The
mom
dad is dead too!
I know, the dad's gonna be dead too.
What the
so
fuck did you do?
I mean, like, everything about it is just like, oh my God, the dad's totally dead.
Oh my
and
fucking
mom's
God.
dead. And it had to have been of like a painful, long, drawn out death, like cancer or something like that. Because that's how she was able to pack all the boxes and shit like that.
I mean, he is a mangaka, so they tend to die pretty young because they work themselves to death. And God knows him trying to lead a double life is probably going to work himself to death as well.
Trying
too.
to hide like the thing that makes him him. Yeah, that'd be. I mean, what I like so far is the leading of the double life, because while I'm not a mangaka and I don't do any of that crap, not that there's anything wrong with that, I do feel like that all of us here, like the three of us, do live this double life, not on purpose. It's not like we're trying to hide, like you're not trying to hide it from Ronan, obviously, or anything like that. But you don't walk into like your job being like, holy shit, I have a video game and anime podcast. I beat it first. Check it out. That's me. Nice job interview. Nice to meet you. Have a good day. You know, that's not like the first thing that we're talking about. Or
That's exactly how I start every interview.
That's exactly how you're doing your interview. That whole okay.
So it's funny that you say that. So we had a new employee come in, a new sales guy come into my company, and we had like this sit down like in our meeting, and we're like everyone, like, you know, say who you are and what you do, but then, like, you know, some facts about you. So everyone's like going around. They're all saying like some odd things, and it was like I'm Eric, I'm director of research and development, and I run a semi-successful video game and anime podcast.
I usually go with that one or the fact that I'm a very avid hiker. Depends on the group. I'll sometimes
You're not
be
an
like,
avid hiker anymore. When's the last time you went hiking?
Last weekend, but it was not nearly as I used to be.
But it was just one of those things of everyone's just like, I'm like, everyone here knows what I do. I've been here for 7 years now. I'm pretty certain that I should probably just tell him. So,
oh, that's all coming to an end.
It is.
7 years.
Congratulations. We haven't.
Another one
We
you
haven't
lead with though
like
is,
made that public at the company yet that I'm leaving. So.
Oh. I mean, maybe. Hey, you know what? If they listen to our podcast or our Twitch streams or anything like that, then you know what? You get the inside track to all.
Yes. That's true. What were you going to say, Chris?
I like to lead with, you know, I paint landscapes. They're really good. Don't look at the original artwork. Just look at what the canvas put out.
This creepy crap, man.
Okay, this is really something that belongs in I Beat It First, but that's a good little bit. NVIDIA has this, like, they have a brand new software AI set that allows you to paint pictures just based off of words, and you're like, waves crashing into sandy beach, and it will paint a picture. But we found another one that they do where you use really crappy, like, paint art, and it turns it into really realistic looking photos, and it's freaky as shit. But we're not here to talk about that. We're here to talk about a guy who makes lewd anime, and he's trying to keep it from his daughter.
Not anime.
Not anime, manga. I mean, the hope is always to make it an anime.
This is true.
I mean,
so Eric, like, this is the first episode of the new series.
Yes.
So why don't you tell us a bit about what we're doing here?
Oh
and what
gosh, let me pull up the actual synopsis. There we go. Okay, so we are watching Kakushigoto, which, if I remember right, means exactly what the first episode was titled, which is Secrets. But we're doing episodes 1 through 4. The next one we're going to do 5 through 8, and then the next ones we're going to do 9 through 12. We're watching in bites. But in this case, Kakushigoto is a single father with a secret. He's a top-selling manga artist of a raunchy series that perhaps isn't suitable reading material for his young daughter Hime. So he does what any doting father would do. He hides it all from her, no matter the hijinks that ensue. And hijinks that ensue, indeed.
Mostly,
I mean,
like take like some parts of like over attentive father mixed with manga like culture and stuff like that, and then you pretty much have this there. I'm pretty sure I've seen this anime before in where it's just them being overly attentive father and like trying to be overprotective all the time without the daughter or whoever knowing that they're watching over all the time. But they've added in the twist of the manga aspect to it. And, a lot of the problems that are created are just because of his hyper imagination and created by himself because he's doing something that really nobody asks him to do whatsoever. Because like even the origin story of it all, where it's just like, oh, what a beautiful daughter, being born. He's like, yay, thank you. And she's like, wait, your name sounds familiar. Aren't you the famous manga artist? And he's just like, shit, I am. And it's like, wait a minute. Isn't that for them lewd mangas? Oh, it is. And then like the whole like operating room just becomes all super judgy, which is fantastic because sometimes that's how it is. Like that's how it feels sometimes when you're just like, yeah, I'm 40 and I like anime and video games.
I'm the only 40-year-old that likes anime and video games here, asshole. Fuck you.
I will gladly ride that line for a long time.
About it.
Yeah. So I mean, it just there's a lot of hit homes here, but then he just goes off the rails, just like my daughter will never know what I do. Like he 1000% dresses in a suit and walks downtown to his job, changes into his like casual streetwear that he works when he works on manga, and then comes back to the shop, changes back into a suit to walk back home. Like it's just like going to the nth degree. Like there's girls in junior high or not even in elementary school at the start of this episode, and it's just like, how long have you been doing this? You've probably been doing it for the full 10 years that your daughter. How long she's been around
the entire time.
You know for a fact that she was like in a crib and he's just like, well, here's my suit, gonna put it on, and it's just like you're overcomplicating this like to the nth degree. It's not necessary.
Well, the best part though
is a step up from what he used to draw in.
Yes, that's how I was going to say. The best part is when they show what he used to do, which is go to the shop and what did he wear before that? Because he drew naked. So where would he get undressed and then where that one and two? It's like going to the shop to change so that people don't see him walk into that building wearing a suit and tie. Even though later on, I think it's like literally like episode 2, they all go into that building wearing suits and ties with charts and graphs and all sorts of shit.
Yeah, they even have like an emergency contingency plan that if Hime does show up, they're like, oh, we gotta change it. He draws on a tie and stuff like that. They're just like, just keep the suit there.
Yeah, why?
It only work if he looks like an absolute bum.
Yes.
Yeah, right.
But yeah, I mean, why not just keep it there?
I mean, then you could get naked. Who cares? And it's your office. True. He's obviously the boss. He makes apparently good money. I mean, to where he could do a lot of upgrades and stuff like that, and also build the exact carbon copy of a house that they grew up in then in the city.
Yeah,
that was a little weird.
Yeah.
Well, and then also the guy who built the house was like, oh, must be really old. That's not an actual old house. They could have built a bigger one. He just wanted this one.
With all the land they have.
All that land, yeah.
He was very clear to point out, like, with all the land they have here, downtown Japan somewhere.
Yeah, in somewhere. It's like they don't live like downtown Tokyo, but they still live in like Tokyo, if I remember.
It's a suburb.
Right.
Yeah, they live in a suburb, but
where land is and I mean actually technically anywhere in Japan, land is a premium.
Land is.
because
Yes.
they are very, very landlocked on a very, very small country. Land is a
Is it
premium.
a small island, Eric? Please tell me.
A
I'm not
small
aware of
island
how
nation,
small.
if I will say, just off the coast, the eastern coast of Asia. No, but they are a very landlocked
It's a
country,
nation.
very small. Land is a premium. So the fact that he owned, like, quote unquote, so much land is a lot. I do like that they didn't say exactly how much he owned.
Right, and they've toted the line of being like, I make money, we're fine. I have a house cleaner, all that stuff like that. Like he does spend the money, but he's very much trying to maintain like a lifestyle from like when she was born type thing. Like he's just like, I'm not changing anything from when my wife, I'm assuming, died. And I'm freeze framing everything. And obviously freeze framing 10 years, 20 years, however long you want to is expensive, no matter where you're at.
Yes.
And I mean, he is a pretty famous mangaka because people seem to recognize his name for his lewd anime.
Yes. Lots of people seem to recognize his name.
Yeah.
So he is fairly famous, although he's on the backslide of the fame, I guess,
Yeah.
is what it looks like. Because of the
All
fact
the fury is over.
Well, I was gonna say more because of the fact that when they say like, or they do that whole art episode and they're like, but can you paint? And he's like, that's right. They haven't asked me to paint a color like spread in years, which is usually like when you're bigger, every once in a while you get, a couple of pages of color in the magazine that you post your manga in, or that you publish your manga in, and in this case he hasn't gotten any. It's all black and white. So it's definitely on the downslide of it. But I still don't even know exactly what the subject of this manga is.
Well, the few things that I do like is that they keep touting that line of just like, is he popular or is he not? Because everyone recognizes him in his name, but nobody knows his characters or anything like that. They made tons of ripoff merchandise for his stuff, even though it wasn't selling. It's just like, there's so much stuff that's just like, is he popular or is he not? And then they're just like, yeah, like you just said, like he's obviously on the decline, but at the same time, it's just like he gets work constantly and people and editors on top of him. So, I mean, they're there to make stuff happen. And then the characters that they do talk about for this lewd manga, like very lewd, are all males and they're just wearing underwear on their heads, which is phenomenally hilarious to me, because when you read the exploit of this anime, it's just like, oh god, there's gonna be some fan service or something like that where it's gonna be the mangas just like drawing big titty anime goth girls, as we all do every day. But they're not doing that here. They're just like, here's this guy with stocking on his head, lewd.
Well, and I'm trying to remember what the name of the anime was where that girl, the girl wore the underwear on her
panties
head.
on her face.
Yeah, Shimoneta. There we go. The concept that a joke doesn't exist. Yeah. At least it's not like that, because they're not actually wearing like panties on the head and panties on the face. He's even just wearing like women's tights. And the best part about it is that it's women's tights and they look like, well, not even pantyhose, they're tights.
That's true. Yeah, it's like leggings.
Yeah, they're like leggings coming down, and they're basically like big ass bunny ears coming down the back of his head. So it's really weird. Although I'm assuming that he's naked a lot in it.
Who knows?
His author photo, he's naked.
Yes, the author photo is naked, which that part where they were getting raided by the government, and they were telling them, they're like, oh yeah, they're like, yeah, no, you guys are running a cult here. Why do you have all this food? And they're like, no, he's a mangaka. They're like, really? Yeah, here's the photo proof.
What is all these bags of white powder? That's actually just cotton candy.
It's not powder, sir.
No, I brought that in like yesterday.
Why haven't you eaten it yet? Because I don't want to get fat.
That's a fuck ton of cotton candy, sir.
It was a fuck ton of cotton candy. And if you haven't noticed,
You got guns?
we're just gonna jump around in this anime because there's no sense in like going at it episode by episode. Really, we're just gonna start talking about shit.
Not a whole lot continuity, anyways.
I mean, yeah, there's not tons of
We're
continuity. The timeline, the story seems to happen in the first 3 minutes and then the last 3 minutes.
Yeah.
And that's
Yep.
really kind of about it. Everything else is just like the adventures of the day and stuff like that, of like really like what it feels like is the girl going through the house, finding out about dad's past, and then remembering things about the past, which would then be the episode that we watch, the way that feels like to me. And because, the dad's totally dead, whatever that
Which is weird. Okay, so it's an odd storytelling set. So it's the girl goes to the manga studio at the beginning, right? And she opens up the door and then papers fly out and everything like that. But then the story is told by the dad. So it's not just her remembering it though. It's very much told
No.
from his perspective. That's what's the weird part about it.
No, but like
Yeah,
obviously
no.
it's told from his perspective, but her, thinking back on it and all that stuff like that. But because at the beginning of the episode she's 18, and then she travels back to 10, and then she's 13 now. Is that what it was at the end of 4?
I think so. That sounds right.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, because she had found clothes from when she was 13. She may not
Or
be
was
when
that
we
one
get
of
to
the
episode
flashbacks?
5,
That
though.
might have been
Yeah,
one of
that might just be what we're remembering from the flashback of when she was talking about the boxes, to where they showed box 13, and it's like very much things that mom would have like thought that she would have needed or wanted when she was 13 years old, but it's all out of fashion now because, I mean, it's fashion. It ages worse than dogs do. So yeah, it's like none of that stuff really means anything other than the sentimental value that she has. At which point, then this is another one of those hints of "fuck you, Jason. This goddamn anime is gonna make me cry, isn't it?"
I don't think so. I mean, if anything, I think that they'll try, and they're definitely going to reveal that the mom died, and
Well,
it'll be
we
like
know
a
that.
whole thing.
Yeah.
But I mean, like how, or not even that, just that she did and that she cared, and then it'll be like probably like the crying episode. But I guarantee you that dad at the end of the last episode or whatever is gonna walk around the corner and be like, "Man, I really didn't want you to find this yet," or some dumb bullshit. I don't think he's gonna.
Well,
actually
someone
be
gave
dead.
her the key.
Yeah, someone else gave her the key.
Right.
Which
They all talked in like past tense.
They did.
All the people that like were in the studio with them were all talking past tense with that. And then there is the fact that the boxes for 18, 19, 20, which are supposedly the ones that he made, that they allude to at the end, are very much like old and dingy as well. So it's either he's dead or there was a big falling out. But I don't know what the falling out would be, considering she's just now finding out about the fact that he was a lewd mangaka.
Maybe that's what we're gonna find out. Is like the falling out was him protecting her still in such a way that she's just like, "Screw you, Dad. I'm gonna go be one of those other animes where you buy me an apartment and I'm gonna go have my own like misadventures while I live by myself and go to high school."
Misadventures of girl who doesn't actually know anything that she's really angry about. She just knows that she should be angry.
I'm mad as well. Sounds like a normal high school girl, in my opinion.
I mean, I'm mad as hell and I'm not taking it anymore. If anyone's going to know what it's like to be a normal high school girl, it's Jason.
I play one on the weekends.
I mean, look at that. Look at that smooth, flawless face. Doesn't even need makeup to cover up anything.
I have to keep my hair short, otherwise
It's too hard for the wigs.
it's too gorgeous.
Well, no, you gotta keep the hair short, or else it's just a pain in the ass for the wigs. Put a
Wigs, you're a
blonde wig
genius.
on Jason. Send him into the high
Rose gold.
schools.
Rose gold blonde, platinum rose gold blonde. That's what.
Is that the new wig? That's the new style. So yeah, Jason's he's a narc, like Johnny Depp used to be in 21 Jump Street.
Dude, I thought about doing that a bunch when I was in college. I was just like, man, I could like just go into high school. The problem is though, is that even if I was an art, even at like 25, and I still looked like I was like 17 or shit like that.
You'd still get beat up by the fucking football players.
Well, I'd be like, hey guys, got any drugs? He'd be like, shut up, nerd, go the fuck out of here. And I'd be like, damn it.
Hey there, youngsters.
Hey, fellow cool kids, got any of that fresh hashish? I am down for getting mad blazed.
2 drugs, please.
I will have two marijuanas, please. That's not how this works. So, how did it go today at the high school? Well, I got dumped into 3 trash cans, and no one wants to sell me any marijuanas. God damn it, Jason. We keep telling you, you don't ask for marijuanas. Whatever you say, sir.
Cigarette, please.
3 marijuanas.
What if I go? Oh, marijuana.
4 marijuanas. 4. Oh God, someone kill him.
Do you even still have count on Sesame Street?
Beats me.
Are they still even making Sesame Street?
Yes, they are. It's on
bought
HBO.
'em.
Yeah, it's on HBO. There's a lot of people that are pissed off that HBO has it there and it's not like free, and it's like they didn't want to.
You know, that's why they
anymore.
had those donation and marathons on PBS free to keep fucking Big Bird free.
Yeah, and all you people
wouldn't
bitching about
fucking
it didn't donate.
Yeah, you wouldn't do your tote bag because you're not wearing that PBS tote bag. You now got to pay for Big Bird, and HBO ain't sending you no tote bag. I guarantee you that.
I know
That's
for a fact that you wanted that recording of Les Mis, Susan, but you didn't pay for it because you're a bitch. And now Sesame Street is on HBO.
And now we get to watch Cats again on PBS instead. That's what we get. Cats.
With digitized buttholes.
Well, I meant the actual live action play, but both versions are horrible. So how about that?
Oh man. Okay, so I'm going through. Okay, so they did do the beach episode. They did the beach episode really early in this anime.
Yeah.
Like, episode 2 was the beach episode. But even that, it wasn't even actually a beach. There was a girl in a bikini, but that's only because she wanted to get her money's worth for it, even though a typhoon hit. But he basically...
I mean, what I'm liking so far, too, is that because I was really nervous that episode 2 was just like, you know what, let's just get right to the lolly bullshit. I was just like, fuck. I really don't want this anime to be about that. And then it was just him again, doting on her daughter, being like, oh, so cute. And the teacher thinking that he's flirting
Talking
with
about her.
Great, like, comedy for that kind of, like, like it's so friendly
cute.
and nice and easy. And then just talking about his daughter being cute. And there's literally zero fan service except for the girl in the bikini at the end, which is totally fine. That's the kind that's okay to see.
Because she's in her 20s. It's okay.
That one's fine. Meanwhile, you can talk about a girl hunting bugs all day, and that's fine and dandy with me. So, very wholesome so far with this anime. I will say that. I don't know if it's the best anime in any way, shape, or form. I've had a few chuckles here and there.
It's funny.
But
It's funny.
It's funny.
yeah, I mean,
It's funny.
like,
For
the
me,
whole-
I'm just waiting for the other shoe to drop of when I cry.
Yeah. 'Cause There's, there's those hints like, oh, fuck. It's going to get sad, isn't it?
Oh, God.
I love anytime that he flirts with anybody. Like I think it was episode 3 when he flirted with like everybody, and everyone showed up.
But he didn't realize he was.
He didn't realize he was. He was just like, yeah, sweeties for my sweetie. Oh my God, you call me sweet? No, I'm talking about my daughter.
Or like,
But,
well, he buys the
Mom.
flowers. So he buys the flowers, and then
I
the
can
daughter
be your
disappears,
mommy.
and then he immediately is like, "Here, hold these," and runs off. And she's like, "Chrysanthemums mean love."
You just tell me you loved
He
me?
gave me flowers.
Oh man, yeah. So,
Oh, he's in a tux. Did he just propose to me?
oh yeah, the
That's right.
tux,
Jeez, oh
the
Pete.
fucking tux. Because so, again, reasons as to
Problem
why
section.
you should take the suit with you and just change at the office. Because I'm assuming the trans store owner sells his suit to somebody else.
Wait,
And
what
then
was
it's like,
The fancy
What was
peeps.
the slang term that they used? Fancy.
Fancy peeps.
Yeah, the
fancy
well, the
peeps.
fancy peeps. Because the fancy peeps are the people that shop around that area. So a fancy peep buys his suit, and then the best suit that they have is a white tux, like an all white tux, white on white on white.
It's a prom tux.
That's not even a prom tux, dude. It's got fucking tails, and I mean
Tails,
long
yeah,
ass
that's
tails.
Yeah.
That's what I wore to that not Halloween, that my birthday that one year.
But yours was black and
You
white.
can have, yeah, well, mine was black.
Were
yeah,
your
but it was
tails
still-
that long though? Because you had long tails.
I had long tails.
I'm
I
trying to
had
remember.
long
I got
tails.
drunk that night, so I don't really remember.
I
that.
was blasted. I mean, Chris loves to
Yeah,
throw
you
up that
were.
picture all the time of me giving the toast and stuff like that. I'm just
that
like,
you don't
"You're
even
all
remember.
family."
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Jason does not remember that toast. Everybody.
We made custom drinks suited to me, and I was like, we're gonna make a gallon, like not a gallon. It was like 4 gallons. Of
Yeah, it was like it was way more than just
Yeah,
one
we made
gallon.
a shit ton of Manhattans, and it was just like, all right, bartender, hand these out to anybody that asks. And I was just like, you know what sounds good, Jason? My favorite drink, a Manhattan. Manhattan, please. And then I just stood there and just got blotto. It was insane.
It was a fun time though.
For those that
was
don't
fun.
know, Jason's birthday is January 1st, so they're usually nuts.
They're insane.
It's
That-
usually a
that-
pretty crazy birthday.
The fancy peep around here, Mr. Scottsdale.
This is true. I am on the north end. I got the fancy peef address, I guess. So
Yeah.
So
The bookstores that don't have manga.
yeah, let's
coffee
talk
shops.
about the bookstores because that whole section was great. It's like Jason's talking about his overactive imagination while they have an entire like half of an episode devoted to a 10-year-old's overactive imagination where they see witches all over the place. I love that I'm like sitting there as soon as they like walk into that building and they're like, oh my gosh, it's a witch's potion and it's a coffee cup. And I look at it, I'm like, oh, they're at fucking Starbucks. And then at the end, they're like, no, guys, I really think it's just a star. And then she goes, like,
yeah, they did it twice. She's
twisted
like,
away.
"This is
Yeah.
a star."
Nope. It's just a coffee shop.
Which they could have done the like, guys, I think this is just a coffee shop, but the fact that they said half of a trademarked name
Oh,
is
yeah.
even better. It was
kiss.
choice. And then they just show the inside of it and it's really dingy and I'm like, it hasn't been that long since I went into a Starbucks. I'm pretty certain that there's still not that like dark in there. Like I don't know what happened in this Starbucks in Japan that it is like dark as fuck because they are usually bright as fuck.
But not bright as fuck as like a children's
Yeah.
like
They're
area.
pretty bright, dude. They're all LED lights now
bright,
and everything.
but it's like soft bright. You know, it's definitely. It's not like the neon fluorescent lighting that a children's like bookstore would have. It was just like use your imagination.
And then I love that, like when he like turns around and they just like think that he's gonna do something, they just chuck a book at him and it's his own fucking manga that hits him in the face.
Yeah, it's his own book.
And he just
But they
looks
found
down and
it
he's
in a
like,
dumpster.
I know how to get rid of him.
"Fuck."
Yeah, it's manga.
Yeah, they found it next to a dumpster, like it was ready to be thrown out, and they're like, "Look what I found! Some manga. That's great, girl. Whatever." And then they throw it back in his face. Amazing.
And you
They're just
realize
great.
that it's his manga.
But like when they see the shop owner too, it's like, oh, it's a fancy piece monster. It's like, wait, my fancy peep or my monster? What else is compliment?
Is it though? Is it a compliment?
To the shop owner, it was.
But is it Jason? Is Fancy Peeps a compliment?
Depends on the context. I guess if 3 children were screaming at me at my back door about that I'm being a fancy peeps, probably not. Probably not.
I'll take that over being called a monster.
That is true. That is true.
That's
And
true.
but again, in context. In context.
Yes.
In context, I mean, it's the same thing. Like Fancy Peeps could just mean monster in general. It's the same thing as like
I mean,
yuppies.
To them, it was.
If someone would be like, "Hey, what's Jason in the backyard?" There'll be like monster or fancy peeps. there's obviously a benefit. But if they're like, hey, how's Jason in bed? Monster or Fancy Peeps? There's definitely a different distinction.
So I love that they. All right. So one of the guys breaks his arm or sprains it or whatever, and then they bring in a temp like worker to work for them, and he's literally there for 30 seconds. And then they time jump real quick and like, oh look, he made his break. And they name drop like 2 other mangaka like studios. They're like, huh, wonder why they didn't name ours. Which was awesome.
It was really well done. It's just like, look at this guy. He works so hard, and look at this. He did amazing work.
So
And look at this. He's no longer works here. He's making his own.
Yeah.
Well, like he recognized it too. He's like,
Yeah.
He's like, ah, damn it. They're like, why? He's doing so good. Yeah, he's gonna go off on his own.
Yeah. I mean, that is the dream, isn't it? So you have to start. You have to start somewhere.
We're stuck there.
Yeah. You got to start
Trying to
somewhere,
get off on their own.
and you start at the ground level, and you do scenery, or you do like the one guy who does nothing but erase stuff. Oh look, we can become famous, everybody. Let's be famous.
Yay!
Yay! Anyways, so yeah, like you got to start somewhere.
Be famous too.
I want to be famous at isuckatgames.com. Anyways, so yeah, you got to start somewhere. You got to start small. Everybody does it. Like that's apprenticeship and the whole 9 yards. So that's normal. The weird thing is that it doesn't feel like anybody, like the long-term people, have any aspirations to do their own stuff.
Yeah, they just seem to be happy working for him and doing what they do. I mean, even the 2 of them that were freaking out about, hey, all I do is erase stuff and all I do is fill in color or fill in whatever, and just like just running his soul scut. They're both
was
like,
the manga guy. He's like, he just delivers the manga.
Yeah, one guy just delivers it,
yeah.
And if they go digital, then they're like, well, then we just email it, and like, what am I gonna do?
All I do is run.
I did like that when they started going digital. So, because the big thing about going digital is exactly what one of the problems is that pen is completely different than a regular pen. Which I found fucking hilarious, and 100% true. I just got a nifty pen tablet, and every other time that I'd ever try to use them, I'm like, my handwriting, or like my hand sucks in this. So I'm like, let's see if it's any better if I get some actual practice with it. Probably not, but that's beside the point. Okay,
well, hopefully it'll be fun to at least play with it.
Yes, I'm trying to think of what else we've met. Okay, so we talked about the dating, which, well, we kind of talked about the dating. I did love the entire sports festival thing, because they did a big old long setup with it of like where he's like trying to work out and get ready just in case he gets called on to be one of the parents that does stuff alongside with him. And then after that, then they're like, what bento are you gonna make for it? And he's like, shit. So then he takes cooking classes and he's trying to learn how to cook.
Picks up that lady.
Yep, picks up that lady, which is the one over Chris's left shoulder, right? The short-haired one. And then he's off with the daughter trying to buy flowers, and he picks up the one in the pink shirt right there. And somewhere along the lines, when he's talking with the teacher thinks that he proposes to him in the tuxedo, and that's the one with the white eyes and the black shadow around her.
Well, he also picks up the
don't forget the high school girl.
Yeah, and the high school girl who's got a crush on him, but also is like there for fan service, which I loved that
was
part.
Amazing. That was the best thing. It's just like, why are you here?
Fan service. And the part that you can't see is that she's just eating all of the bento boxes. Apparently, somebody didn't watch their homework because Chad is asking, what the hell is this anime? And this anime is pure bonkers. That's what this anime is.
Yep.
It's not pure bonkers. I like that. Oh God, what was the most bonkers one we watched this year so far? Like Smile Girl. What was that one that you did, Eric? Where it was just like,
Good luck, girl.
Good luck, girl.
Yeah, Good Luck Girl. That one was
That
pure
one was
bonkers,
super
in my opinion.
bonkers.
Yeah, that one was over the top. This one's wholesome ridiculousness is what it is.
Yeah.
And so far, I have yet to find any reason. It's just like, hey, yeah, you know what? This is okay.
Surprisingly wholesome for about a guy who draws lewd manga.
So
Yeah.
extremely wholesome. But okay, so that's very much the whole Junji Ito thing as well. Junji Ito draws horror manga and like deep, dark, like fucking freak you out, give you nightmares for weeks horror manga. And he loves the Beatles. He likes painting. He likes painting like scenery paints and or scenery portraits and stuff like that. And he likes Hello Kitty. He sings poppy karaoke.
Don't you understand, Eric? This anime is just for me. It was made for me. This is my anime. I must fit into this anime.
Oh man. Oh god.
Complete opposite of what's his face? Miyazaki?
Yeah, Hayao Miyazaki, who
Yeah.
who draws all the like beautiful anime and
Food.
everything and
Food.
fucking yeah, and food, but hates the world. Is
Hates
like
the
the most
Beatles.
cynical motherfucker that there is. Hates the Beatles, yeah. Chain smokes like a motherfucker, yeah. Oh, Hayao Miyazaki, such a great person. I do love that they try to get it, or he tries to change his name. And they're like, "What are you talking about? He's not a new guy. he's an established artist. If he does that, he's gonna screw everything over." All because they found out that when he started, he used his real name, and then he started using a pseudonym for like gym memberships and stuff.
And I liked in how like the name that they picked was like Leet Lord or something like that. It was
Oh,
like
yeah.
some, like
It's a great
otaku
name.
like bullshit.
great
Like it was
name.
just like yeah.
God.
Yeah, all I saw was I saw
23.
numbers in there, and I'm like, "Why are we doing an AOL screen name?"
469 420 the third.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, something like that. Oh man.
Like, is he under? Is there a fortune teller? I
Oh
haven't
god,
seen one.
yes.
Maybe I should go check out his house. Oh, fortune teller lady's hot.
That's right, because the daughter thinks that he's the CEO from the first episode, and he's like, "I'm changing my name to CEO." Oh yeah, we didn't even talk about the whole like back in the episode where they were going fully digital, and they were like they got an artist from Indonesia to draw a cityscape, and it wasn't like, it was very much an Indonesian cityscape. Like, yeah, we can't use this. And then he goes home and he finds out that the housekeeper that is helping the daughter out is Indonesian. And he's like, "Yep, nope, that checks out." But yeah, this anime
Well, I also
is
like when
weird.
the CEO comes over to the house
Yeah.
for the first time. He's like, "No, let's change your pose and hide."
Oh
normal
god.
T-shirt. She's like,
Oh,
"Oh,
yeah.
you're this?
Yeah.
Oh wait, you
Oh,
changed,
you're a
so
mom."
you're this."
Yeah.
There's an idol, like it's every pose the daughter had like something just by the position of his arms. And then finally he's just like, "Fuck it. I'm an artist." Shoot, pulls out a marker. Shittily doodles all over it. Makes something else.
Oh.
And he's like, "That's not what this looks like."
Scared.
And the daughter comes in. She's like, "Oh, look, it's blah blah blah."
Yeah, it's Sailor Moon. Yeah, we're good. We're done. We're done.
So yeah, this anime is weird. I'm not gonna lie, but it's good. I'm enjoying it until again it makes me cry, and then I'm gonna yell at Jason and tell him he's an asshole. Because
I do
But
like
I-
all like
I-
the
I'll be interested.
mangaka insights too.
yes,
Like, oh, this is kind of how they work. Or like when he's doing the art class with the high schooler.
oh yeah,
Gotta do this. Yeah, you're actually really, really good at. But It kind of looks like a manga.
And then they do the voiceover of every time that a mangaka tries to draw something serious, it always ends up looking like manga. And then the daughter does the picture from the perspective of the tiger, and then that changes the way that he does all of the art in the manga. For when he's like complicated things, we do it from their perspective. That's what a pro does.
Right.
It's
I mean, that whole
this is like a
that whole
movie
zoo.
or under budget movie.
Exactly. Well, I mean, that whole zoo episode was fantastic, where he asks the teacher out on like the date to come watch to make sure that she's doing the art herself, and she's just like happily like just hanging out behind, like waving and stuff like that. Like, this is the best date I've ever been on my entire life. He ignored me 100%.
And the girls from the class that come in and ridicule her about saying she's on a self-help, like a self-care date, and all that shit. She's like, I'm on a real date. Like, sure you are.
He's just far away. You're like, oh, he's dead. We should be nicer.
You can't make death jokes and then be like, oh yeah, everyone dies in this anime at the end of it type thing. I don't know.
It's not everyone. It's just two people, and one of them's already dead.
Maybe, or she's a cheating asshole, and he won't let her.
No, the mom is dead. He would be way more jaded if she cheated on him.
Well, unless he's like totally in love. Mangakas don't got much choices.
Then why?
Apparently, he does.
No. And she would also be around. Like, she wouldn't have cheated and then made all these boxes and said, "Here you go."
We don't know.
He wouldn't have kept
she's
the
like
boxes.
now she's living her new life with Brent, the motorcycle maniac
Fuck
on the
Brett.
road.
No, fuck Brett. Brett's an asshole. Fuck Brett.
This anime does give me vibes of New Game, but it's not as ambient or ambient, I should say, of it. New Game put me to sleep almost any single time I watched any of them. This one, full disclosure, I did fall asleep in the fourth episode. I had to rewatch it again, just because I'm tired anyway. But that's why I'm getting those vibes though. It does drag sometimes. Where it's just like, what are you really building with this? But then when they all come together, it does become a lot more fun.
Yeah, because everything's kind of like a bunch of little bits and pieces, and then it's all these things. You're like, what the fuck is going on? Then they hit the punchline. And you're like, oh, okay, that makes sense. Like the build up to all the shit at the festival. Like, there's all these little things going on, and then he takes her to the festival, and then there's the mask and the cotton candy and everything like that. And then at the end of that, they're like, man, I sold out of all of mine within like 40 minutes. I'm going to buy 6 times as much next year.
No, which also, it's very obviously not poor. He can afford all that shit.
That's true. Obviously,
lots of mysteries, lots of weird stuff to it. I mean, we're probably thinking way too far for like obviously comedy sitcom show, but interesting to say enough. The characters are fun. I don't hate anybody, or anything like that. They're all relatable and easy to get along with, and it's okay. And I like that it's not creepy as fuck.
Yes. No, I'm perfectly fine with it. I like it. It's funny. It's a watchable anime without being like super bad. So I'm perfectly fine with it that way. All right. Well, I think we've talked about everything that we could talk about for this. So Jason, go ahead and blog roll us out.
No problem. Hey, you. Yes, you. If you're watching or listening to us, guess what? We love you. And we appreciate you being here, and we love hearing from you. How can we hear from you? You can email us anything at Ibeatitfirst.com. Chris, Jason, Eric at Ibeatitfirst.com. We want to hear from you. Cutscene at Ibeatitfirst.com. We have it. Email us. Tell us about it. What do you think about this weird-ass anime? Is there other animes that we should definitely be watching? Please let us know there. You can email us, tell us what you think, tell us what you recommend, all that good stuff like that. We'll either make fun of you, send you an email back, or maybe send you some stickers. Who knows? We'll try to do that sometimes. we have stickers. Speaking of stickers, we do have a new merch store open and stuff like that. We do have solid discounts for subscribers, so please subscribe to us on Twitch, and you can then find us by hitting the exclamation point merch or whatever, so like that. I'm sure we'll have links on our Twitch page as well, where you can then buy some of our tasty crap. But like
including
I said,
a giant desk mat.
Giant desk mat. This looks pretty dope. Like I said, we do have pretty solid discounts for subscribers, so please do check that out, and that's all the shilling I will do. You can also check us out at Ibeatitfirst.com, which is our actual website. You can also see all the stuff that we do on there, which is just other podcasts. Speaking of other podcasts, we do have a plethora of other podcasts available for your brain needs, including I Beat It First podcast, which is our official normal main podcast. I don't know.
Yes.
Where we talk about video games, news, and culture of all nerddoms. We obviously have a cutscene, which is what you're listening to right now. So please don't be confused about what that is. We also have our Patch Notes Patch Notes podcast, which is where we talk to game developers about pretty much everything else that we can besides their game, which is a lot of fun. On our last episode of Patch Notes, we talked to the people at Squid
Shock Studios.
Squid Shock Studios. Thank you, Eric. I was just like, I knew when I was saying it, I should have written it down. About their game Bow that's going to be coming out here soon. Really interesting, really cool guys. Highly recommend listening to it. We could talk to people forever, so it's a lot of fun to have on there. You can check all of our podcasts out in general just at ibif.co. That's ibif.co. And then please just always remember isuckatgames.com. That's where we are, and that's who we are, and that's what we do. That'll get you all the information.
Is that really what we're just going to change to now? It's just isuckatgames.com.
We could. I mean, we have it. I Beat It First. I Suck at Games. You know, what else do you guys want? I can make it happen.
we have the two very opposite ends of the spectrum. I beat it first, meaning I did really well and I beat the game, and I suck at games. I just suck at games. But thanks a lot, Jason. And thank you, everybody, for joining us. Everybody that is with us, hang on after we end. We will be raiding out. But thanks a lot, everybody, for joining us this week. And we will see you guys in 2 weeks for episodes 5 through 8 of Kakushigoto. Or whatever it is. Is that right? Did I get that right? Yeah, Kakushigoto. Hey, I got it right. All right, without further ado. Bye-bye.
Like you forgot. Like it's not what you do every single fucking time.
100% forgot. Which is the best part about it.
The thing I do all the time.
That thing I do at the end of every podcast. Oh, shit.
My one job.
Yeah, literally one job. Okay, let's see who we're going to raid into. Shiggy's doing D&D, but I think that she's just doing prep for her D&D, so we won't do that. Let's do, you know what?
Grab game.
We haven't done Lady Rose in a while because she's not normally streaming when we are ready to go. So we're going to go raid Lady Rose, everybody. So thanks a lot, everybody, for joining us again. Again, cutscene's usually shorter. It's only about 50 minutes or so, which is what we hit for this. But we will be back next week for I Beat It First. And we will have our next episode of Cutscene in 2 weeks. Bye, everybody.
Bye.